Hi, I'm Paul Bowman, CEO at Wexer, the digital fitness specialist who deliver over 25 million fitness experiences through our partners worldwide. Welcome to the Wexer podcast, where I'll be speaking to industry experts to bring you insights and advice to support your business journeys. In today's episode, I'll be chatting with Owen Maskell, who is the National Product Manager at GLL. How are you, Owen?
I'm good, Paul. You?
Yes, good. We were actually talking a little bit offline. We've had a few troubles getting this one live, but it looks like we're rolling now. So it's good to see. So look, Owen, just probably listeners love to understand a bit of background in your journey in terms of how you got to the National Product Manager. So give me a 90 seconds intro into yourself, Owen.
Right. Well, hi, I'm Owen. So start at the beginning. So. Yeah, I suppose like a lot of people in the industry, I kind of background of enjoying sport, playing a lot of sports. So I played football, played tennis, got a little bit older and found golf. Again, sort of background, university, sport and exercise science degree, wanted to become a PT, decided that probably wasn't for me, and then kind of worked my way up through the business. So
nice. And then GLL for, of course, everyone in the UK and probably Europe knows GLL for probably the American and the APAC. What is GLL? What's the company's mission?
So GLL is a social enterprise, a charitable social enterprise, which means that any surplus we generate, we reinvest back into business. Everything we do is there to improve the lives of the communities we work in. So we're a leisure management company, so we run services on behalf of our partners who are the local councils. So again, we've got probably 240 plus leisure centres across the UK, so ever growing.
You're a busy man. And what does day-to-day look like for you as the National Product Manager? Because of course you've got, how much do you have to manage the councils versus run the business? Is that like a 50-50 split or not as much as I'm imagining?
Personally, I'm not directly involved with the councils per se, so we have an operational team that run the centres and manage that kind of client relationship side of things. And we kind of say that we're working in partnership because that's how we do operate. So we kind of things go out to tender, we bid on it. Hopefully, we're successful in running it, and then we can bring in our expertise to run the facilities and ensure that the local communities get as much access as possible to physical activity and other things. So.
Yeah, and what would be the things that kind of keep you motivated? What's your highlights at the moment in terms of what you're working on?
Well, try and find one of my many to-do lists. So yeah, I think there's a lot of projects going on. So a lot of refurbishments and developments within the gym. Obviously, kind of programming is kind of a key thing for us because we're trying to offer something for all kind of ages and abilities. Kind of programming is key to us. So we think of a gym. Generally they're fairly standardised, regardless of which operator you go to. There's treadmills, there's some weights, there's resistance machines. But I think it's how you can then bring them to life and activate them and offer something different for different age groups. Something that appeals to a 20-year-old isn't necessarily something that will appeal to the 75-year-old that we're also trying to encourage through the doors. In some cases it will be the same, but often they're different. So again, they're kind of looking at different activities we can run within the gyms and also the other parts of the building as well. Taking activity outside the gym, we've got pools, sports halls, so tennis courts, anything that kind of gets people moving.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. The variety of what you offer is insane. If you think about the industry as a whole, I think we've probably gotten a little bit more refined in terms of our offering. If it's low price, high value, or if it's a boutique experience or a service-based experience or luxury experience, it's all pretty refined. But you guys got to do a lot of things in terms of serving a lot of people. So what does that look like for you to manage? I guess what's the biggest priority in terms of is there a demographic priority that you're focusing on now, or is there something that you kind of nail one year at a time, or is it just trying to serve as many people with good programming as possible?
Yeah, I think it's about trying to serve as many people as possible. Especially with the number of activities we offer, there is generally something for everyone. So start all the way back down to soft play. Not that that's my remit and responsibility, but we've got soft plays within the buildings, swimming pools, swimming lessons, sports halls through to the gym. So I think two areas we've seen big growth in around sort of, I suppose, traditional health and fitness. So within the gym and classes and that side of things, it's probably the juniors and the older adults. And I think for us, we can offer something that other operators maybe can't, just by nature of the setup. So if we look at the older adults, where we've seen a big big growth. A lot of it's the social activities. So, having kind of like a little book corner, coffee mornings, that side of things that can really sort of appeal to them. And that's what becomes the gateway through into the activity within the gym.
And what would be the average size of a GLL to give the listeners an understanding how big these things are?
I mean, it varies. So, we've got kind of like real small community clubs, which you might have 20 to 30 stations within a gym, maybe a sports hall and a swimming pool, through to, in London and Hackney, Britannia Leisure Centre, which is
the one I was thinking of.
4 stories, football pitches on the roof, and everything within that box. So it really, really varies across the country. So.
I get it. And then I guess how do you, maybe what have you seen, probably in particular coming out of COVID, in terms of how much your business has evolved, and then the second part of the question is how much what do you see it evolving to as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen probably a change in how people train and what they're doing within the gym. I think it's it's probably not an industry secret. Like lifting has become a lot much more so it's mainstream in inverted commas. We're seeing different uses within those spaces. And I think that was probably happening pre-COVID, but I think it's probably kind of accelerated off the back of it. And I think there's probably a lot more, awareness, understanding, focus on health. I think before a lot of gym usage was around coming to run aesthetically pleasing and achieve that kind of beach body type thing. I think now that still exists, that's still there, still part of it, but I think there's probably a wider focus from the general population around health and the benefits of it, whether that's physical or mental.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree. Well, I think every listener's probably saying the same things. We're actually seeing operators create wellness hours in their pack. They're actually one of the biggest classes that people go to because they just want to actually have the educational side of what is wellness and how do I define that, and how do I improve mental health or the rest of it. So I think it's amazing to see the fitness industry in general, especially led by a lot of you guys, actually kind of leaning into that, right? Which is, I think, just benefiting society. So how do you see technology playing a role in regards to, I guess, how you've evolved to now, and then how you're seeing the evolution of GLL's sites?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, like most people, it's kind of been embracing technology as over the past few years. I mean, it's not anything new, but it does. I think it supplements what we offer. I think it assists with making it seamless and starts to remove a few barriers that people may have had. So, if you look at a lot of the content that's available online, and we've started to incorporate through into our app as well, is to give people an idea about workouts and some information and understanding to hopefully kind of make gyms and physical activity spaces seem a little bit less intimidating, because they can kind of see it and sample it in advance. It also then gives them the ability, I suppose, to continue with it outside of the physical walls, as it were, which hopefully then helps them maintain that kind of routine and into it. I think it's quite easy. It's quite hard to build the habit of exercise, but I think it's very easy to lose. So I think anything that can be done to kind of give people that little nudge and that prompt, and just doing something, even if you're going from 3 times a week to 1, just at a period of time, whether it's a holiday or an extended break for time pressures outside of, in life. But I think, it just helps to give people that information and understanding. So. Yeah,
well, it takes the barriers out to actually, I guess keep committing to the good habits that they created, right? And then I guess because you've got the same content in the app and the same content in the studios. Like, is there a reason behind that? You want to keep consistency, just like you were saying, so they can go away on holiday, have that content, and then also do it in the club, or is there a strategy behind it?
Yeah, well, I think it's there's plenty available on your platform, isn't there? So I think part of it's just utilising it like fully. And for us, we want to offer something to a whole range of the community. So some of it's to a degree trial and error, so we can kind of see what people are looking at, what people want to do, and then that will help to guide our thinking about what we're delivering from a live perspective in club as well. So if we see suddenly we've gone from everyone doing HIIT workouts to suddenly everyone doing Pilates, you start to get a feel for how people's mindsets, mentalities are changing, as it were, so which can help us inform our sort of live programming. So, but I think, the key thing is really when we are targeting, that kind of, younger age groups through to the older adults, being able to offer something to everyone, it really does benefit us. So
nice, and we're even looking at swimming content for you guys in terms of leisure activity swimming. So, that's a new one for the content team to go try and hunt down. So looking forward to seeing what they come out with. And then I guess for you, in terms of how much, because I totally agree that I think, the reason why Wexer was started in the first place is to be able to support people's fitness journeys and support and inspire them. And I guess how much do the leisure contracts, how much does technology, I guess, play a role in the leisure contracts in terms of the bid process?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose to a degree it's kind of expected these days. I think as an industry, we're maybe not necessarily advanced as some other industries with it, but it's kind of it's there, and I think it's just about trying to use every tool that's available to try and help people along their journey. One with kind of attracting them into it, but also then maintaining it, be able to monitor their results, and look at those improvements. Run a number of health schemes where we need to sort of report back on outcomes and so on. So, which for us using that technology to be able to track and provide that information is obviously a requirement of it, but it's also then beneficial to the person coming through those schemes. So. Yeah,
and of course, we've seen actually since 2016, year on year, an increase in terms of just virtual consumption in the clubs. Like, what is driving that? Is that just the consistency in terms of you guys programming with it, or what's driving?
I think it's probably an educational piece through to customers, but also with internal teams. I think that kind of understanding of what we're trying to achieve and what's the benefit of these virtual offerings. They're never going to replace a live instructor. So I think people come to physical buildings for people, but ultimately what it does do is can serve as that gateway through. Either into classes. Not everyone is a class type person, but they might want to. Different types of content. I might be able to do a HIIT class, but I'm not sure coordination is right for aerobics as an example. But it would give me the opportunity to practice, and it also just makes our programs look a bit fuller. Ultimately we can schedule classes there, so it just adds to it, so people kind of feel like they've got an opportunity to take part in something, kind of almost from the minute we open. Yeah,
no, well, nicely said. Yeah, I always refer. We did a content piece. It'll be really about 2017 now, that like everything's based on confidence, right? So you could be you trained HIIT all your life, and then you'll have very, very comfortable to use a HIIT training session. You'll use it in a convenient side, but as soon as I go to a Pilates, then my confidence goes way down, and that's when everything else becomes the tool to be able to support you rather than actually kind of take it away. So well done embracing that. And then I guess how, like, what would be your what does the future of fitness look like for you in terms of technology in GLL?
I think it's just kind of continuing to add in more, I suppose, technology-based features, as it were, to kind of sort of make our memberships more appealing to a wider part of the local demographics. But also, add value to them as well, and just increase that kind of education and knowledge through to people, and kind of give them the control around what they're doing, when they're doing it, and making sure it kind of fits within their lifestyle, so that they continue with their membership with us because they see the benefits to it in their everyday lives.
Yeah, and you'll lean more into health moving forward as well, or see how that pans out?
Yeah, I think health will always be a big part of what we do, regardless. I mean, I think as an industry, health is a big part of it, anyway, isn't it? Regardless of how you kind of wrap it up and look at it and spin it, but. That's essentially why we're here. We do run large health schemes across the business, and that will be something that we will continue to do. I suppose it's just about how we sort of layer in health, as it were, to the general population rather than people on those sort of specialised schemes. So.
And what does it mean for them to be able to actually engage? I always I see them around the world. I see the kind of intervention programs are actually sometimes the best. So you've gone to the doctor. It might be you might be classified risk for something, and here's the exercise, here's the series that they want you to follow, ideally leading into physical delivery and engaging with the community, therefore creating those better habits. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out in the years to come, but I think it's an exciting time for our industry. And then how do people connect with you, Owen?
What was that, sorry, Paul?
How do people connect with you?
Oh, well, LinkedIn's obviously the go-to platform, isn't it, for most people in the industry? So, yeah, I am live on there.
You're live on there. Well, look, Owen, I really appreciate everything you do. Appreciate you coming on the Wexer podcast and sharing your insights.
Not a problem, Paul. Anytime. And hopefully
Thank
next
you,
time
Owen.
will be it's first off the bat. So.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll just create a series. We did joke about that offline.
Yeah.
No, thank you again, and look, always very, very impressive to hear what you guys are doing at GLL. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Paul. See ya.
Soon. Bye.